Morning, Max. You've had plenty of March success in your career. What about this team gives you confidence that the Longhorns can achieve some success when it matters most here?
I mean, just knowing what we have in the locker room, we're focused on, getting better every day. We've, had some really good practices, had a good game on Tuesday. And so we're just continuing to get better and build on that and continue to carry that over, in the next game.
Kirk Bowles, please.
Yeah, Max, you guys played so good in Lubbock. It just seemed like you guys played with a great sense of urgency. I was wondering, any particular reason why? Boy, y'all just brought it full bore from start to finish in that game.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the type of urgency that we have to play with every game, and we understand that. Going back and watching the film and seeing the good things that we did, but also little things that we can fix too. So I mean, really, right now it's about continuing to get better. There's always areas that we can improve in, and staying in the moment and taking it day by day.
And you were back to your old self shooting wise and scoring wise. Did you feel like the Big 12 is just, everybody plays such great defense? Did you feel worn down at all this late in the season?
No, I haven't felt worn down. I've played 4 years of college already. Had games where I've played the whole game, so I wouldn't say worn down at all. Definitely missed some easy shots, but I'm continuing to put in work and trusting that still, and it'll click.
Thank you.
Eric Henry, please.
Going on, Max? Glad to see you not too banged up after the elbow the other night. But just wanted to ask you, a lot of the guys have raved about your defense. How have you improved the most defensively from the start of the season to now?
Yeah, I mean, just playing against the best of the best. I mean, in the best conference, playing against the best players and, getting a chance to guard them. But kind of really just starts in practice, really RTing them, really pushing me to be better on the defensive end. And that's for me, that's a part of my game that I need to have, especially being able to play at the next level. And so just continue to improve in that area and show I can defend.
Any follow-up, Eric? Terry Middleton, please go ahead.
Max, good afternoon. So when you came to Texas, Coach recognized you as a great talent. Obviously, you were scoring a lot of points. I'm really curious, since you've been here at Texas, what have you and Coach and the staff done to raise and elevate your game even that much more? I mean, when everybody on the team is a great athlete, great basketball player. But I mean, what you've been able to accomplish is, I mean, you're going down in the history books, okay? And Coach talks about you'd rather have a national title than any singular title. We get that. But I'm curious, how has your game been raised since being at Texas under Coach Terry?
Yeah, I think one of the big things is that defensive piece of it. Instead of doing a whole lot of drills, so kind of see different things in action. So combination of that, player development, and then on the defensive end, I think that's been a big piece of my growth.
And as a follow-on to that, does that fit your personality? That defense, bone on bone, just aggressive style? Is that kind of mold within who you are as a player?
Yeah, I mean, I think that for defense, I mean, it's kind of what's in your chest, and kind of that mentality. And so, Coach has been great about getting that out of me this year. Just understanding, the next level. That's what they want to see. And so I'm just going out there and continuing to get better on that end, and showing that I can defend.
Cliff Thornton, go ahead, please, sir.
Hey, Max, thanks for being here today. Not only the win the other night, but the manner in which you did it, just to deliver the butt kicking that you did. How much did that team need something like this, considering the previous couple of road games you guys took some pretty good beatings and didn't look good in the process? How much does that, I don't know, if get your confidence back or to re-encourage that you guys still have a lot to play for and that you can get back on track?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that we ever lost our confidence. I mean, Coach talks about it all the time that the Big 12 is, it's one game at a time. You might lose one, you hold it on for a night, and then you got to go move on to the next. And it's easy to dwell on that, but it's very important that you move on to the next game. I mean, because you got another great team coming in, or you're going to another great team's venue. So I think we never lost confidence in ourselves. The urgency, intensity that we needed, for Tuesday's game started in practice. And so we're just continuing to build on that. Especially in practice. I mean, I think that's, where everything starts, building good habits for the game. And that way, when the game comes, we have that urgency that we need.
Mike Harge, please.
Hey, Max, I just wanted to ask you real quick. You got bowled in the eye the other day. Looks a little bit better today. Looked like you got a good plastic surgeon. But did that get the team going and rally around each other to kind of get together and try to get this thing turned around real quick?
I mean, it was, the first minute or two of the game. But I mean, the team was together from the jump. If you were in our practices, before the game, like you felt that energy, and you felt that sense of urgency that we really needed. So we were able to come out with the right intensity. I think it started, with Reese, pressuring the ball. I seen it a little bit. I didn't see it too much. I was getting my eye worked on, but just, the intensity that we needed on that end, I think that just set the tone for everybody. And then we built on that, and we're able to build a lead a little bit, and just continued that throughout the game.
Kirk Bowles.
Yeah, Max, if you were picking the all Big 12 team defensively, who would you say has been the tough defender you've had to deal with this year?
Oh man. I think Houston is really good. I mean, individually they have good defenders, and a guy like Jamal Shedd. But really as a team, they have, the length, athleticism, and they play really hard on that end of the floor. So I think that was a tough matchup for sure.
Was Jamal Shedd the toughest individually?
Yeah, I like Jamal Shedd. He was a good defender. But I mean, it's Houston as a whole too is just a really good defensive team.
And you've seen Caitlin Clark play, right?
Yeah.
At Iowa. I don't know if you saw Steph barely won the 3-point thing at the All-Star game with Sabrina. How would you and Caitlin do? Would you be able to handle her in a shootout?
Yeah, I think I can handle her in a shootout.
Why do you think so?
I mean, what is a good shooter supposed to say, that he's gonna lose that?
What do you think of her as a player?
I mean, she's a good player, and I mean, I've seen, some of her games and the things that she's able to do. It's pretty amazing, pretty incredible. And then just kind of the platform that and attention that she's brought to, women's basketball is good to see.
Thomas Jones, go ahead, please.
Max, good morning. Kind of piggybacking off what Kirk was asking, what's the biggest difference between especially perimeter defenders in this league compared to, at Oral Roberts?
Yeah, I mean, you're playing against the best of the best. It's the best league in the country. So you're playing against guys who have, been on all defensive teams, who have been on, defensive player of the year watch lists. And so, you're playing against the best, players in college basketball. And so I think it only helps you get better. And then, in practice, with the guys that we have, giving me and the rest of the team, a good look of how it's going to be in the game. I mean, so it's, you're playing the best of the best, so you're going to get the best on both ends of the court.
Coach Terry, good afternoon. So got a question about the Sunday following the Kansas game. I heard you talk about this, and I'm just curious, throughout the season, every practice is to get them prepared for the game. But the way you described that Sunday practice was different. Was this the moment which everybody melded together and finally understood the level of intensity that you had to bring to the practices so that in the games they performed like they did last game?
Yeah, Terry, I would probably equate it to not fully as much as Coach Smart has over there at Georgia, Bloody Tuesdays. It was a bloody Sunday for us, but no, we needed to come in and we needed to just really have a much more competitive spirit about ourselves. Just felt like we didn't compete at the level we needed to compete out in Lawrence. And, I owned that up to our guys after the game. I said, you know what, this game's on me. I didn't prepare you guys to to compete at the level you need to compete in hostile environments like the one we were in today. I say, but I promise you this, we won't have that problem again. I'm going to do my part. And the only thing I ask is that you do your part. And we're going to start that tomorrow. We'll come in, we're going to lace them up, and we're gonna be competitive, and we're gonna fight at an incredible level to try to win these games the rest of the way.
Terry, you're on mute.
Yeah, sorry. Did they do that? Has that been consistent since that Sunday? Yeah.
Yeah, we've had some highly competitive practices. I mean, that practice in particular was really physical, though. You know, we were guys were on the floor, guys were making plays similar to the one that Brock had in the game the other day in terms of contact. I mean, we went bone on bone pretty hard and pretty heavy with ones and twos. I know Smart does a lot of ones and twos on Bloody Tuesday. We did ones and twos with ours as well, made it much more competitive. I mean, our scout team has done a great job all year, but it was really ones and twos going at each other, so it made it super competitive.
Eric Henry, go ahead.
Good afternoon, RT. Just want to ask about Caden. Obviously, he had 10-7 or 10-6 in 8 minutes at Tech. What is kind of the prospects of him being able to play more minutes, and is his health kind of at that place where he can play more than 8 minutes? No,
Caden's been playing great for us. He's been giving us a physical presence on offense. He's given us a physical presence on defense. His rim protection was outstanding in the last ball game, and really had a big effect in terms of what their guards were trying to do getting downhill. A lot of times these games, come down to matchups, on how much guys play and how much guys don't play. They downsized and went really small, and that was really challenging for us in that game. But a lot of times you still don't want to downsize and adjust to them. You still want to try to have them adjust to you. So we'll try to play our big lineup at times, but if the suit gets going and other guys get going, I think it's just ebb and flow of the game. It's not necessarily that he wasn't doing something that he needed to do. I thought that he had a great impact on the game, but he also had 2 quick fouls as well. And a lot of times you pick up that second foul, very rarely we would bring you back with an opportunity to pick up that third foul in the first half.
Noah Gross, please, sir.
Morning, RT. It's March 1st. I've got to ask about, the month-by-month thing. I know it was the grind of January, separation in February. What's March, and why is your team ready to get things going here in the final month?
Yeah, it's the best time of the year, right? It's why you do all the things you do in the spring, in the summer, in the fall. You do it for no other reason but for this time of year. March and early April. Really simple. I think when you get to March, it's about postseason play. And it's about finishing and advancing, and finish a possession, finish a cut, finish a half, so everything's about finishing and trying to do it at a high level. And, as a result of that, a lot of times you'll get a chance to advance. So finish and advance is the motto in March.
And then if I could just do a quick follow-up, it's been a little while since you guys have won back-to-back games. Obviously, that's something you got to do if you want to keep playing in March. What's the difficulty in that, and is that an added focus for the group as you have an opportunity to do it here tomorrow?
Well, I think this time of year you have to stay locked in. You have to limit distractions, in terms of what's going on, outside your world, and really just kind of lock in and dial in to what you have to take care of. And we call them the controllables. What can you control every day, live where your feet are in terms of your effort, your preparation, and your attention to detail.
Kirk Bowles, go ahead, please, sir.
Rodney, obviously you're glad to see a better offensive output from Max. How difficult has it been for him with everybody knows what he brings to the table, and he sees a lot of traps and double teams? What was the difference for him in Lubbock?
Well, Kirk, I think he's always been a focal point of, his time in college, Oral Roberts, he's game plan for, no different than being game planned here at Texas. He's one of the best players in the Big 12. I think, But I do think this. I think, a lot of times we look at his scoring because obviously he scored so many points in his career, but he impacts the game in a lot of different ways. Even the other night, I thought he and Tyrese really set the tone and how hard we needed to guard their perimeter players. And Max is playing really hard on defense. He's one of our better passers. He's one of our assist guys. So, he creates for his teammates as well as looking to score for himself. But I just thought, again, he let the game come to him, but I thought he got lost playing really hard on defense, and I thought the offense came a lot easier to him.
How much better a player do you feel like he thinks he is now that he's played with this staff and in this league?
He's always been a pretty good player already. It wasn't like we came in and had a magic wand to make him, even better than what he's been in college. But one thing I think we have given him is we've given him an incredible platform. There were, years that people didn't even know who Max Abmas was and what he was doing at the level that he was doing it. Everyone's got a chance to see it this year, and he's played in marquee games. Every game we play is a marquee game, and he's had a chance to do it on the main stage, and people have got a chance to see him around the country, and they know exactly who he is now.
Thomas Jones, please. Go ahead, please, sir.
Coach, the guys up in Lubbock were telling us, they were aware if there's NCAA projections, and they're kind of treating every game like a must-win. How have you addressed with the team, the NCAA projections and whether y'all are on the bubble or not?
Well, I think what we tried to do, Thomas, is, and we addressed that from the very, early part of the season, and non-conference play, and no knock against any of the opponents. We respect every opponent that we play in non-conference. But if you don't bring your A game and you lose one of those games or you lose two of those games, there's an opportunity you get a chance to wreck your season early in the season, so you treat every game like it's an NCAA tournament game. Every game you have on your schedule is an NCAA tournament game. So, we instill that in our guys early in the season. Every game you play, you're working on building your resume.
Chip Brown, go ahead, please.
RT, I was just looking at your home record in conference play. Where has this team made the most progress since those opening losses at home to Tech and Central Florida?
Well, I think the Central Florida game pretty well. I think we've gotten better, in terms of trying to close games out when we played well or well enough to win the games. The Houston game here could have went either way, in terms of, one possession, you get a rebound, you have a chance to beat, a top three team in the country on your home court. So I think, again, just the urgency that you have to play with, closing out halves, starting halves, closing games. I think we've improved in that area in terms of understanding, that you have to continue to play the game for 40 minutes at the level that you have to play it.
And you're looking for guys to step up around Max and Dylan. Are you seeing what you want to see? You need more from the guys around them. How would you assess it?
Yeah, I think, again, Chip, a lot of people assess, guys playing well or stepping up and doing things with points. We don't equate that. We equate winning basketball to guys that come in and do their jobs at an elite level. Tyrese Hunter, I believe he scored 2 points, maybe 4 points the other day in the game, but had a tremendous impact on the game. He did a great job going to Zunt, and set the tone for how we wanted to play the entire time. He played his tail off on defense, but that kind of go unnoticed a little bit because he scores 2 points, as opposed to saying, hey, man, this guy, a big reason why we won that game was his defensive mindset, him doing a great job out there guarding hard. And when you do that, that's contagious. Everybody else around you wants to guard hard. Max is going to guard hard. We know Kendall's going to guard hard. Dylan Mitchell's going to guard hard. All it takes is 1 or 2 guys out there, competing at that level, because you're going to win in the Big 12 with your defense. As much as we want to talk about offense and how many points this guy scored, that guy scored points, it's going to get down to who can get the most stops and who can finish possessions to win games in the Big 12.
Mike Harge, please.
What's up, RT? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Mike.
Quick question for you. There was a lot of noise in Lubbock this past week with the fans and everything that happened on the court, and you kind of addressed it a little bit. But in those situations with the court storming and everything else that's involved with it, how are you prepared mentally and your team mentally to handle those types of situations? I doubt it'll happen again, but you never know.
Again, I think we go into every game. We play in some great venues in the Big 12, and I think that's a big part of why our league is one of the, or arguably the best league in the country, along with great coaches and great players. But there's no venue that's going to win a game for someone in terms of they're not going to score one basket. They're not going to come down and turn the ball over for you. So everything's going to happen between those lines in terms of what you do and how you do it. And again, it gets back to controlling what you can control. I think that, our guys did a good job the other night of keeping their composure and continue to work the game, once everything had transpired. I also thought and gave a lot of credit to Grant, for what he was able to do in terms of, really getting the crowd under control again in terms of, hey, we've got a basketball game to play, and, let's not have any more of the nonsense in terms of throwing things on the court, but when you have a class guy like that who, again, has done a great job this year coaching his team and instilling in his culture of how to do things, I think that just kind of really just carries over to those type of situations, Court storming, I think, again, that's you can look at it different ways, I think, again, it's opportunities for young kids to have great memories in a moment for them in school as well. You don't want to take away the excitement of the student engagement and them being excited about a team, having a big win. I do think, you need to have pretty good security, to be able to deal with it, but I don't think you have to necessarily take it out of the game, because I do think it creates, memories and moments for young people in their college experience. But I just think you have to have a building that's equipped with really good security that'll do a good job of really trying to keep good order as they enjoy their moment.
Kirk, go ahead, please, sir.
So you're not going to wear a helmet on future road games at all?
No helmets. No helmets, Kurt.
Hey, he got Baylor on Monday, right?
We got Oklahoma State on Saturday, though.
Exactly. And it's
who's playing as good as anybody in the league. Mike's teams always peak at the right time. They've gone on the road and won in Cincinnati, beat a good BYU team, really had the game won with Oklahoma, and they lose a tough game at home when they really had the game won. Playing some of their best basketball right now. So I haven't even thought about Baylor. I'm thinking about Mike's team, and I know Mike, again, has those guys playing at an elite level.
Yeah, no, I meant it's 2 games in 3 days. You got 1 day off, just like the NCAA tournaments. And I wondered if this is kind of an advantage to have this, this late in the season to see what it's like. And if you talk to your guys about that.
Yeah, Kurt, no, we've had these throughout the season. We've had a big Monday or two. We've had a Saturday, Tuesday as well. But again, I think that's why a lot of times in scheduling, if you're able to schedule an MTE where you play back-to-back days, we got a chance to play back-to-back days in the Garden. We play Louisville, we turn around, have to play UConn the next day as well. I believe we had back-to-back days. Was that right, Scott? We had back-to-back days. So,
Correct.
We're able to go 2 days up there against, a team that's been in the top 5 all year and with a quick turnaround in terms of, really, you don't really have much of a prep. I think that prepares you for Saturday, Mondays. It prepares you for the NCAA tournament as well. So if you're able to do that early in the non-conference, I think it prepares you for conference play.
Any follow-up, Kirk? Chip, looks like we have 2 left in the queue. Go ahead, please, sir.
RT Harge brought up the hard foul by Brock. Does that that probably won't help his reputation with the officials, right?
Well, again, I think Brock makes winning plays and competitive plays. He has an incredible competitive spirit about him, and one that we embrace in our program. Brock doesn't have any intent to ever try to hurt anyone. I think even the play made the other night, I think initially he was going for the ball, and I think as he saw that there was going to be contact, I think he prepared himself for that contact, with that play. But we embrace his competitive spirit, and we love how he competes, and he's a multi-effort player. And I think officials, I think they adapt and adjust the way the game's being played. To be honest.
Last one, Terry Middleton, please.
Coach, so Kendall Weaver, he watching him play, it's like he's having his best life. He has as much. My takeaway is he has as much joy playing the game as you have for coaching the game. So I'm just curious, what are you coaching him on now? Because he doesn't matter if he's going to go up against the boards and get batted around. It's still there's a smile on his face. So I'm curious, what are you working on him with?
Yeah, Terry, that's a great question. I think, when you talk about Kendall Weaver, you talk about Brock Cunningham, those are guys that get so lost in just winning. It's about winning with him. And they both come from winning programs. Brock played over at Westlake, and they have a winning tradition over there in basketball. Kendall, Mansfield Timberview, when he played for Coach Dwayne Gregory, they have a winning winning program, winning mindset, won state championships a couple of times, played the state championship game, but everything Kendall does is predicated on putting his team in a position to win games. Hey, you need me to go get an offensive rebound? I'm going to go get a second chance opportunity. You need me to go get a defensive rebound? I'm going to out jump everybody, and I'm going to get this ball because I want it more than you want it. You need me to get on the floor and be first to the floor? I'm going to be first to the floor in terms of getting on the floor and trying to win the 50-50 game. You need me to drive the basketball? I'll drive the basketball, but really just doing whatever it takes to win. And I think you'll see Kendall Weaver over the course of his career, be a guy that continues to develop in other areas in terms of shooting the basketball. We'll spend a lot of time this spring and summer working really hard on him shooting the basketball at a high clip. He's done it before. I think now it's just a matter of doing it at this level as well. So I think that'll be another part of his game that you'll see a lot of growth with, and we spend a lot of time with right now. But you're right, he has an incredible passion for the game, and the way he plays, he and Brock both, everyone, would love to have every year Kendall Weaver or Brock Cunningham on their team.
Thank you all. Appreciate everybody's time today. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you,
Coach.